Not him being so truthful though. Flat broke.
Yeah.
She was like, yes, I am pregnant, yes, you know, whatever. But you know, I actually am single now. So, you know, you can be with me. Hello. So one of my absolute favourite moments of High School Frenemy was seeing Kay. Now I know that there's a lot of people that watched it obviously for, I think a lot of people started watching it like when episode 5 or 6 came out because they knew like that Saint and Shin were like being more like almost boyfriendy rather than like just friends vibes, right? They probably saw those clips and started watching it. I watched it from the start because I wanted to watch it in general, you know. I was already going to watch it because of the trailer. So yeah, but I also love Kay and I love AJ and JJ and I loved their arc in this storyline. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting video because it's been a while since I've seen anything of this show. But I did so many edits of this show back when I did like my TikTok edits. Like I did so many edits of this show for real. But I think this is the most views I've had on a show that I watched. Like I got like 1K in a lot of these reactions that I did of High School Frenemy, so you know how popular this show was when people were watching my videos. Like that's crazy. But yeah, let's get into it, because I'm telling you, like when he comes into revamp, like he, you know, Kay is in revamp, I'm gonna absolutely go crazy over him for real. And I just love that you can't have Ken without having like AJ and JJ involved here too. Oof. Oof. Honestly, this song really fits like his vibe, because he really probably felt like he couldn't do anything right. Yeah, and the fact that he just, yeah. Yeah, Ken went on a journey in this show for real. Because even when he was alone, he still wasn't able to change until he realized he wasn't actually alone. You know, they really did care about him, but he was also trying to protect them. Yeah. But yeah, he's trying to protect them all. Especially his besties, you know? Yeah, see. Like, Kay is such an amazing actor, for real. Yeah, and then he still gets beaten up. By the gang that he's supposed to be with. Yeah. Honestly, if Ken had died, if he really had died in the show, they really would have gone after everything from this gang, like for real. Like those, like AJ and JJ, their characters, they would have never, Nate and Not, they would have never been able to handle him dying, you know? For real. Bruh, this hug was everything to me, for real. It really was. Just the way that the twins were both crying too. Like no one else was, it was literally just them. You know? So cute, bruh. You can just tell how much they care about him. Like you can feel it. Such a good video, bruh. Such a good edit. like Ken is such a complicated character because you simultaneously you hate him at the start, obviously, but then you see what he's been through, you see what he goes through in his life, that he has a like really abusive dad, and that he never had like a probably a good childhood at all. And it's just so sad, like, to watch him, like, you know, go down such a path, you know. And like my absolute favorite episodes were the ones that Ken was, you know, featured in, like, primarily when we were seeing his backstories. Like, those are my favorite episodes of the show, you know, for real. Like, I know that so many people stayed to watch the show for Saint and Shin. I stayed because of Ken. Like, I literally stayed, you know, watching the show for Kay, you know. Yo, wait. I've watched this video before. 6 months ago I watched this video. I literally commented on here. I freaking love Kay in the show. Ken was such a good character for him to play. So complex. He always has good characters to work on. Love this edit, thanks. And then they pinned that comment. So they pinned that comment. Thank you for your kind words. And I agree. I loved how Kay portrayed Ken. His story with the twins was one of my favorite parts of the show. So funny, bro. I didn't even realize that I'd watched this before. That's insane. Like, I mean, it has been 6 months, so of course I would have forgotten, but like, that's kind of crazy that I forgot about this. Yo, I didn't even check the comments before I started watching this. It was kind of funny, bro. But it did feel like it was completely new to me, so that's kind of crazy. But I love, like, honestly, I absolutely love Ken. Like, I really do. Like, obviously, I think the one thing that they never really dived into was the fact that he tried to hit the teacher, right? Like, he tried to hurt her that one time. Like, I don't know why he would have done that. Like, I don't know if it's just because it's built into him to be violent because of his dad, you know. But like, the fact that he tried to hurt her, I feel like a lot of people didn't like him as well because of that aspect. I feel like a lot of people that still didn't like him by the end of the show was because of that aspect, you know. Whereas I still think it's just mainly because you can tell that he hated people who like had money, or that he thought had money and stuff, like, because of the way he treated Mark's character, right? Like, I feel like he really just hated people that just seemed like they were well off, and like, he obviously had nothing, and it's like they didn't work for it, but they still have it because their parents are rich and stuff. But he also just hated people in general because, you know, he just hated people in general just because, like, I don't know, like, anyway, he was such a complex person, for real, and I just loved his character so much. Like, I loved the growth he had and just the way his mind was, you know. It was so interesting watching him in this show, and I really hope that in Revamp he's also some kind of, like, twisty character, right? I hope he's not just a villain. Like, I hope he's not just the villain of the show. Like, I hope he is kind of like either being controlled by somebody else, or he is the one controlling somebody else. I don't know. Like, I think it'd be really interesting to see what happens with him in that show, but like, I don't know, I kind of don't want him to be the main villain, or at least if he is, I want him to be complex, because I always love when Kay gets to act so, like, crazily, like, so, like, batshit insane, but also has depth, you know what I mean? Because some villains just really don't get depth, whereas we get, like, in this we got, like, Ken, obviously we get the other guy, but in here, like, with Ken, he really just is just a child who, like, grew up so badly, you know, grew up just with an awful parent, you know. And I don't even know if his mum ever cared about him. Like, it's hard to know because we just never saw her at all, you know, because she wasn't even living with them. But yeah, he honestly, like, Kay, AJ, JJ, having them in a show together is just everything. And I know that they're going to be together in Revamp because we saw those pictures of them, you know. So that's going to be so freaking cool. Like, I wonder what's going to happen with that. I hope it's not like a flashback type thing and, like, Kay watched all of his friends die, you know what I mean? I hope that's not going to be the case. But then that would be kind of cool if he was the villain because he's trying to get back at Boone's character for killing his two besties or something, you know. That'd be kind of cool if that was his, like, reality of, like, being the villain, you know what I mean? But then you'd kind of side with him then, because like, why would Boone do that? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But that'd be kind of cool if that was the reality. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.
That was a lot of like nonsense.
Can but be kidding.